Okay, we're going to get started in learning how to do the phosphorus lab test. But before we start, we have to remember that we're always going to follow the yellow flag that was on the top of our manual, lab manual to begin with. We also know that the zone is indicated by the letter on the actual flag. So for this one, we're at the D. So can you please write on yours D zone so that you can be our recorder for today?
I'll write it on my sheet.
Next, I'm going to go through each of the steps for the actual phosphorus test. But before we start, I'm going to lay my board down and I'm going to clear the leaf duff from the area so we have an area to work from. Now, if you look, we have our actual phosphorus kit and it says phosphorus on it. Step 1 says to grab a test tube and the phosphorus extracting solution. So our phosphorus extracting solution is right here. Our test tube is right here. And we are going to put on the test tube up to the 6th line, which would be 6 milliliters of phosphorus extracting solution.
Okay, so don't squeeze too hard, and don't forget you should have your safety goggles on.
Now remember, we wanted to get it to the line so we can see the smile. What do I mean by the smile?
That's called the meniscus.
Exactly. So if we look at it, it's lined right underneath, and you should be at eye level in order to make sure it is at the right volume.
Close your bottle.
Now we're going to step 2. Step 2 says to grab the spoon, which is in our kit.
Wait, we forgot to write down observations.
You're right. So what do we notice about this particular solution?
Well, it looks clear.
All right, do you mind recording that down on our observation portion of the lab manual?
Yeah, under step 1.
All right, remember, here is our spoon, and on the spoon it says 0.5 grams. So we know that we need 3 scoops of 0.5 grams of soil sample.
So when you grab your soil samples, you don't want to press too hard because it won't come out when you go to put it in the test tube. Lightly tap, get another scoop. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you have to, you can use your other glove and clean some off so it's level. Scoop 3. There we go. Perfect.
Excellent. Now let's take a look at the observation. As you notice, the soil seems to release a little bit of bubbles, and it's starting to mix with the solution itself.
I'll write that down.
Now we're going to get ready to go to step 3. In step 3, we need to get the cap and actually use the timer, and we need to gently mix for 1 minute. Now, remember, gently mixing is like a teeter-totter mix. We just go back and forth for about a minute.
3, 2, 1, stop. And you can reset your timer at this time too, for next time.
Okay, in step 4, it says to remove the cap, but now allow the soil to settle until the liquid is above the soil is clear.
Make sure you write down observations at each step.
So as we can see, it is starting to clear liquid at the top. It's still a little cloudy, but most of the soil is settled at the bottom. We're going to remove our cap. And now we're going to do step 5. Step 5 says use the lid with the red pipette. And in this particular section, we're going to avoid grabbing soil from the bottom. In order to do that, you must squeeze the actual pipette top, slowly place it into the test tube, release it, and you are getting the liquid. While my partner will grab another test tube, and we will place this one into the second one. Now, according to the directions, we don't want to pull any of the soil, and we want to fill the second one to the third line, which is 3 milliliters. Again, I'm squeezing at the top, placing it inside and slowly moving it out, and then transferring it into the second tube to the third line. I'll do it again. I'll squeeze the tube before I get in, place it in, but don't get too close to the soil. Allow the solution to come up, transfer it over. We'll do it again. And we are close to the smiley face, or what we call the
meniscus.
And we have to be at eye level to make sure it is there.
That's pretty good.
Okay, excellent. Now we're going to recap the old one, and we're going to place it aside, and we're going to move to step 6. In step 6, it says to add 6 drops of phosphate indicator reagent to the soil, and which will extract, hopefully, the phosphorus from the test tube. So I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to place 6 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you want to be very careful not to squeeze it too hard, otherwise you would have a stream of solution instead of drops. Next, step 7 says cap, and we're going to gently mix like we did before. Next, we will take the step 8 and we will remove the lid, and we will find the tablet, and we will add 1 phosphate test tablet to our solution. In step 9, we keep gently shaking it until the tablet has dissolved. And now we can see that the tablet has dissolved, and there is a slight blue color that has appeared. If we take a look at our actual phosphorus chart, it looks to me that it is close to the low blue. So we will circle low blue and also put that level right there on our lab manual.